I will tell you the one thing that I'm happy and glad about is that this channel right here has been effective in a lot of people's life, and it's been able to help them out of situations such as this particular grim one that I just got finished speaking about when I was in town here a few hours ago. And in case you didn't, or you have not ran past it, hey, it's an epidemic. I had Brother McGee's mom tell my wife the same kind of story just took place in Nashville. And the story goes something like this. And remind you, there are a lot of these isolated incidents that are never reported. There's never in the mainstream news media and stuff because they don't want the whole world out there to know that our country has very low morale and that people are just not doing well whatsoever at all. So they're not going to report stuff like this. They're going to keep you entertained. They're going to keep you distracted by Hollywood and whatever the stupid stuff that they're doing. But hey, this is commonplace amongst people in the so-called quote-unquote middle class. I just heard the same thing from a pastor friend of mine up in Chicago. And the story goes like this. You have a man that is well established. He makes anywhere between $80,000 and $150,000 a year, sometime more. But they have this particular lifestyle that they have to prop up and keep up. And their family has grown accustomed to this type of lifestyle. And of course, since America is a debt-based system, you know, everybody just assumed that these debts are not going to be called. But every single month they're called and stuff. That's the reason why many of us have all this type of remorse from this debt that we've amassed upon ourselves, because this debt is bringing about a spirit of heaviness. It brings about depression. And that depression, when it gets finished with you, it's ultimately looking for death. The system is not trying to tell you, nor are they going to tell you that it's a design. Ultimately, they're to kill you. They're there to stress you out. They're there to not to make sure that you have life, liberty, and you pursue happiness. Because happiness, according to the way that people think that happiness is in this society, is in things that you can buy and possess. You know, it's no secret I'm a pastor, and I deal with people all the time. And I deal with people who all the time are trying to mask their problems, trying to mask their heart problems and their troubles in their life by ripping and running, going buying things and doing things, and thinks this is going to fill the void in their life. Let me tell you what this spirit is, in case many of you people refuse to understand what's going on. It's called rejection. Anytime you have rejection, you deal with the spirit of betrayal, and rejection causes you to feel very bitter against those who have hurt you, disappointed you, and have done you wrong in your life. And a lot of times when people don't know how to cope with this, or if they can't find people that will really truly be truthful to them when it comes to love, because everybody wants companionship in some way, shape, fashion, or form, to be wanted and to be needed. And when they can't do this, they fill these voids in other ways, like going shopping, buying things, amassing a bunch of debt. If your house is dysfunctional, if it's in a disarray, the husband is at the wife's throat, the wife is at the husband's throat, and the children are at each other's throat, and the children are getting beat because of what the husband did or what the wife did, and it's all rolling downhill on the children and stuff. They grow up bitter, they go up separated because they've been raised by the TV. You know, it's almost like a movie being replayed over and over and over again, and you're not going to get too much counsel because the only thing you're going to get from a lot of people, go read the book, go read the Bible, go talk to them, something like that. And the people are left to fend for themselves. And when they're left to fend for themselves, they're ultimately left to deal with things that they're not equipped to deal with, which is these thoughts that arise within the heart, the mind, which is the heart. They're connected. And so people try to fill these voids and gain happiness in other places in their life. Now, when you are strangled by debt and you no longer can be able to fill these voids because you done charged up your last card and now you're paying nothing but interest on that because nothing is being applied to the principal, and you keep playing this and you notice that your credit card bill is not going down, or the house note, or you get to the point where now you're making, your debt has done exceeded past the amount of money or income that you're bringing in. And so now you start to do like our government. You start doing like our government do. You start to look for money to get in any place you can. You start to try to get money in way, and you don't solve the problem. You don't solve the problem, and it's just exasperated. And you're kicking the can more farther and farther down the road to the point you get to the point you crack. So the man begins to think he want to keep his family happy. The wife is beginning to nag. The children are upset because they can't have the stuff that all the other children have to keep up with the Joneses. Well, Tammy got a brand new car. Why can't I have a brand new car? You see, we ain't. And then all this pressure begins to mass on this man. He begins to get attacked from within. Vice versa, same way or without. It makes no difference. One day he can't take it no more. He's done finally made a decision because of the thoughts in his head. Keep continually telling you, might as well just end it all. These people don't care about you. He openly feels alone. And so he found the only way out of this. The only way out of this is to just end it all. And so he comes home, he looks at his wife, pow, shoots her, kills her dead. Children come in and run in the room, see what's going on, pow, shoots them, both of them. And then last but not least, he turns the gun on him, he kills himself. There are a lot of people out there that many of you listening to my channel that have these thoughts running through your head because of the amount of heaviness and depression that has been amassed against you because of choices, bad choices, and decisions that you have chose to make. That's the reason why I get on here and harp on you and tell you just a simple thing: get out of debt. Just get out of debt. And when I'm telling people to get out of debt and stuff, I'm trying to do my best, my part in this life, because there's nothing so bad that's going on in this life to where you want to take your life. And I know that many of you don't believe that there's a life after this particular life right here, but I assure you that there is. And I tell you what, if you didn't live right, you're not going to the good place where all us Israelites are going. That's just the truth. But there's nothing so bad to take, for you to warrant taking your life and taking the life of your loved ones. So what if they come and they take your house? So what if you lose your job? So what? So what? So what if you no longer have a roof over your head and clothes on your back and shoes on your feet? So what if your family forsake you? The one thing you still have left, if you really truly have a relationship built on love and not on stuff. And the majority of people in America, they don't know what love is. Their relationships is built on what you can do for me. That's just the truth. And stuff. What can I acquire? What can I get? How can I feed the lust of my flesh and still be satisfied? So I teach you to make moves, to position yourself, to make moves and stuff so that you don't end up in the same old chaotic mindset that a lot of people are in and they are contemplating right before our very eyes right now. Death is knocking at the door of a lot of people, and it's knocking on the minds right now. And death is not the end, it's just the beginning. So there's nothing out there. If you really truly have love, it makes no difference if you have a little or have a lot. If you have each other, you still have. Think about the people, how they lived before civilization as we know it today in primitive lands. They lived out in the woods and stuff. They would survive. They fish, they hunt and stuff. The problem is we have gotten so used to these conveniences, these modern day conveniences, that we can't even fathom ourselves, especially a person that has a lot of money. They can't fathom themselves, humbling themselves, going working as a janitor at Walmart or in a tire lube service because they're too prideful to do something like that. They can't fathom going up to a cattle ranch or something like that and shoveling cow dung and stuff. They're too prideful for stuff like that. But hey, suppose you did have a nice little homestead. It may not be big, maybe 500-600 square feet. You may have an outhouse outside. The one thing you don't have is the stress of all those bills. You don't have it. And if you lived off the grid, who cares about their bankruptcy and their bankruptcy laws? What are they going to do, come and throw you in jail when they can't find you? Huh? So you have a lot of people that's following big brother, big government. They're following the same mindset, the same attitude, same spirit that they are, and it's not working. Nothing is working for the people whatsoever at all. So people have to change their minds, and their minds are being changed whether we like it or not. And you have to make changes. If you don't make changes and make painful changes right now, some of you are going to be tempted by the spirit of death. Some of you are going to be tempted to do things because you're getting bitter and you're getting hurt that you would have never have thought about doing because the pressure is mounting and it's getting harder and harder to cope. You can't even find a solution in the pill, of a pharmaceutical pill or bottle, none of it anymore. And most of you, the pill, I'm going to tell you the solution is in the Most High, but most of you can't even fathom that because even that is too much of a change. But no matter what, your change is going to come, whether it be in life or whether it be in death, your change is going to come.